Now we go. There we go. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check, mic check. It's one of them days, you know what I mean? It's one of them days. Yeah, it's one of them days. Anyway, we're back, we're live, we're good to go. And as I said, you probably couldn't make it out, but it was totally my fault. Totally my fault that I'm a little bit delayed. Nobody else's fault today. Yeah, sorry. Don't know why. I had it connected into the normal USB, but it wouldn't connect. But now here we go. Here we go. We're live. We're here. We're good. People tuning in later on going, does this lad know that he's not live? Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Look, today's news show has been brought to you thanks to a friend at Spitch. Spitch is a new fantasy football manager game that allows you to prove your football knowledge against other managers and win a share of the prize pool up to 70 grand. 70 grand every week. Spitch offers games from multiple football leagues, including the Premier League, Bundesliga and the Champions League. You can create a brand new lineup every match day so you can play any weeks that you want, or put it down for a few weeks and come back and try win some more. There are paid pitches, but there are also pitches you can play on completely free. Once the match day kicks off, you'll receive points based on things like stats, goals, shots, tackles, etc. There's tons of stats available as well. Information on individual players inside the app once you pick your team. You must be 18 years or over to play, and it's only available to UK residents. Link to download Spitch is below. Yes, right now, I have a lot to get off my chest today, ladies and gentlemen. I have a lot to get off my chest, starting with that pathetic, and I'm not holding back here, that pathetic excuse of a fan base that is the Arsenal fans, because my God, the whinging, the bitching, the moaning, the crying that this fan base has put out over the past 24 hours because Liverpool have the cheek to come down with COVID. Oh, how dare we get COVID? Let's call this out for what it is. Arsenal fans have been pathetic. Opposition fans have been pathetic. Where was all this furore when other teams needed to have games postponed? As an example, our game against Leeds on the 27th, postponed because Leeds had COVID and injuries outbreak. No problem. Not one word was said by any of us. Because we understand, because we're rational human beings and understand that people were ill. And the first priority should be to make sure that these people, their families, are healthy and safe. But no. Once again, the gift that is AFTV and those other absolute clowns that just give it all this. Let's be honest. The reason they wanted us to have to put out the kids is because they know they're shit. They know that we're more than likely going to turn them over. In fact, we turned them over with the kids before. So why not show some humanity? Why not step up and actually show some dignity? And show first and foremost, should be the health and safety of these people. But no, it's a big conspiracy theory because the lads are going off to the AFCON. Well, this might come as a shock to you, but they're still going to be at the AFCON when we play them. And now you've got the second leg at home. So what excuses are you going to have when we knock you out now? Because the stuff that I've seen from these pathetic excuses of human beings have been disgusting. Honestly, no health and safety worries. It's all a big conspiracy. Do they honestly believe we or anybody else is scared of Arsenal? It's Arsenal. Arsenal. We've already whooped them once this season, and we're about to whoop them twice more. I didn't think that my opinion of that channel and some of their fan base could go any lower, but my God, it has. The absolute state of them. The absolute state of them. Why would we want the game to be postponed? Our manager has been one of the people talking about wanting to play through. We had players missing against Chelsea. Nobody moaned about it. We got on with it. These people are just pathetic. Pathetic. Every single one of them. The state of them. Honest to God. Arsenal fans, get a grip. Honestly. Look at any of the streams that I've done. Any of them. And people come in and they'll say, Craig, X or Y has COVID. What's the first thing I say on every single video? Well, first and foremost, we hope that they're well. We hope that they recover quickly, because that's the most important things. Oh no, not to these fucking crybabies, it's not. All they do is, yeah. We're sick of listening to it. Honestly. I'm done with that channel, honestly. They can fuck right off. I already didn't like them. But after seeing some of the shit that's come out of their mouths over the past 24 hours, and it's, why do we hate Liverpool so much? I don't get it. I mean, I get that you're shitting yourselves. I get that you're afraid. I get that. And I get that you think this might be the only chance you have of winning a trophy. I understand all of that. But man up, fess up and say that that's what you're afraid of. Because it's got nothing to do with fairness. It's got nothing to do with equality. It's got nothing to do with looking after the health and well-being of professional players, staff, and people who have families. No, it's all to do with driving those angry clicks, because that's what that fucking channel lives off. My God. Fuck them. I'm saying this now. Fuck DT, fuck Robbie, and fuck that piece of shit channel. Because I've had enough of it. I've had enough of them. For years now, the rest of us have been going around trying to pick up the pieces from this shit show of a channel that has given fans a bad name, football content a bad name. And we've worked our asses off to try and change that perspective as we move along. But once again, they show themselves to have no fucking dignity, no compassion, and only interested in driving those clicks with anger. Pathetic. Pathetic. And you know what? I can't fucking wait till the day we cross paths and I say hello to these guys, because they are a disgrace. A fucking disgrace. Nobody else will call it out. Nobody else has the balls to do it because they're worried about spawns. I'll call it out. It's a fucking shit show. It's a shit show of a channel. And it's a shit show. Every fucking one of them. We made Arsenal relevant. You fucking didn't make Arsenal relevant, you absolute clowns. You embarrassed the club so much that they made you take their name out of your fucking channel because you're an embarrassment. And they're giving it all Billy Big Bollocks. We made the club relevant. You embarrassed the fuck out of the club. That's what you've done, and that's what you continue to do. So shut the fuck up and know your place. Shut the fuck up. Honest to God. It's ridiculous. It's look, I'm not holding back with it. I know some of the shit show and some of the shit that's gone on that I can't talk about. I know it. I know the destabilising tactics. I know what they've done, and I know who's done it. But I've got to keep my trap shut because a lot of this doesn't involve me. But that was the last straw for me. Fuck me. The state of it. One Way Football, thank you for the super chat. Said, would love to have you on One Way Football. Postponing games, do you think will affect Liverpool in the long run? Such as how the Carabao, the FA Cup League, safe recovery, Arsenal fan. Thank you, mate. Look, postponing games is never ideal for anybody, is it? Particularly when you've got to build up a fixtures, like, so. I think I'm glad common sense prevailed on this one. I think, I don't even mind that Arsenal have the second leg at the Emirates now, because I understand that it was tough for their fans as well, because fixtures being changed, people travelling, all that. I get that. I understand that. I appreciate that. So the fact that it's just moved a week the other side of the first leg, I'm fine with that. I'm glad common sense prevailed, but I'm absolutely disgusted yet again by... I just don't know where the humanity is. Like, they honestly think about themselves constantly first and foremost. Like, if they had a rational brain inside those heads, they'd understand that what benefit is it of us to postpone this? None. None. We already have fixtures coming up. It's a busy time anyway. It's madness. But anyway, yeah, defo, man. No problem to come on. Drop us an email, contact@AnfieldAgenda.com. All good. Look, can I ask a genuine question? Honestly, like, I've been open of my disdain for AFTV since the day I started making content. I will give credit to every channel. I'll give credit to them for the hard work they've done. But I'm sick of them. Like, nobody else will call it out. Because they're scared. They're scared about sponsors. They're scared about... I'll call it out. I think they're a shit show. I think they're a disgrace. I don't like them one bit. And every time I hear it, it's just Robbie sticking a microphone in somebody's face because it doesn't seem like he has the ability to do anything else. And I don't know Robbie, but I don't like him. I don't fucking want to know him. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, look, here's where we are. So the fixture's been postponed. Our first leg is going to be played at Anfield on the 20th. On the 13th, my apologies. And the second leg will then be played at the Emirates on the 20th. Sorry, I just got to get some off my screen, but my God. Craig Layoff TV, I've got no problem with them. But then fuck off and watch them, Paul. I think they're a shit show. If you want to watch them, mate, that's up to you. But don't be telling me to lay off them. Fuck them. Lay off nothing. Don't like them, never have liked them, not going to pretend to like. See, that's the difference. I don't fake shit. I don't pretend to like people and stab them in their back. I'm honest. And that's why some people don't like me. Because I don't play the game. I don't do the talk nicey to people's faces and then different behind their back. I call it like it is. So if you like AFTV, Paul, watch. But don't fucking tell me what to do. Right, Coutinho. Let's talk about Coutinho for a minute, shall we? Looks like he's off to Aston Villa. Which, I don't know. How do we feel about that? Look, I could tell you a lot of stuff, by the way, about other channels that would change perceptions. But I don't do it because it's not my business to do it. Because it doesn't involve me. But I know what goes on in this industry. I know what's gone on behind the scenes. I know who they fucked over. I know who they will continue to fuck over. And that's before we get into other stuff about the double standards that they've ran on their own channel. But, you know, we'll leave that. Right. Honestly. And let's rewind back. Because remember when we won the league. Remember that year? Have a look at Mr. Double Initials and what he was saying back then. And I think you'll find he was saying, well, the only sensible thing to do is null and void the league. Why was that? Because they're shit. Because it suited their agenda. That's why. I'll call it out. I'll say it like it is. Yeah, Coutinho to Villa. Where are we on that one? I think it's a good move, actually. I do. I think it's a good move all around. It looks like it's going to be a 6-month deal with an option to buy. And it'll be interesting to see how he gets on there. Obviously, he would have played with Steven Gerrard, so there's that relationship. But I think it's an interesting move for Aston Villa. Yeah, I really do. Reece said, I hate AFTV. They make Arsenal fans seem like we don't care about anybody else. In my eyes, they're not real Arsenal fans. I just don't like the way they put their content forward. But that's what I don't know any of them individually. I've met Troops, and I have to say Troops was a lovely guy when I met him. Absolutely sound as a pound. Wouldn't say a bad word about the lad. He was A1. But I just don't like the content. It isn't my cup of tea, Reece. Yeah. But yeah, on the Coutinho thing, yeah, it's a good move. I'm glad he's not coming to Liverpool. Let me put that out there. But I will be intrigued to see how he gets on at Villa. I think it's clever from Steven Gerrard as well. I do. Yeah, I think it's a good move all around. Yeah, I do. Honestly, I think it's a good move. What have we got? The only thing Nath, you're very kind, Nath. Every day Nath comes in and bigs up my ego, pretending I'm good looking, but we can keep this lie going between us, Nath. No, Troops is sound, absolutely. I've never had an issue with Troops. Troops is A1. To me, Troops is just a proper family man out there doing his thing, hustling, working away. Yeah, I don't mind Troops at all. I mean, as I said, I've recorded with Troops and he was sound, A1. Actually, do you know what? I'll go further. He's one of the nicest people I've met in this industry. He was bang on. It's not just Arsenal fans complaining, all rival fans have been crying. But that's the thing, George. All rival fans always cry about Liverpool. But it didn't affect them. So it affected the Arsenal fans. So that's why I was annoyed by this. Because I don't know. And look, I'm not on social media all the time. I'm very rarely on there. But what I do know is, when the game against Leeds was called off, for us, I certainly just thought, all right, that's fair enough. Leeds can't put out a team, sound. Leeds have injuries and COVID, sound. I mean, I understand that. I hope they get better and we'll redo the fixture and play them again. I just don't get where they're going with this. Like, how do we benefit from it? Like, let's look at this objectively. No manager, no assistant manager, none of the 3 goalkeeping coaches available. We were down to the under-21s goalkeeping coach. Then we've got Alisson, COVID. It sounds like Queevy and Kelleher and Pinaluga have COVID, but I'm not 100% certain. Matip out. Salah and Mane gone anyway, so not available for selection one way or the other. Elliott out. Origi out. Minamino on the way back. Thiago injured. And that's before we know any of the new COVID cases on top of Matip, Alisson and Firmino. So for them to come out, and I've seen a lot of them say over the past 24 hours, they only have 3 players out with COVID. No, we don't. We've more than that. We just don't know how many yet because they're still testing and there's an outbreak in the squad and the training centre is being closed down. Do they honestly, in their heart of hearts, believe that a competition that Jurgen Klopp has never given a shit about, never really cared about the competition, that all of a sudden we're so scared to play Arsenal that we're inventing cases and we're closing down training grounds and we're running around and destabilising everything for what? Because we're afraid to play Arsenal? A team who we absolutely hopped off? It doesn't make any sense. It's just petty, stupid, childish behaviour from people that clearly can't put two and two together in their head and come up with a rational answer. It's ridiculous. Thoughts on Trippier to Newcastle? It's a decent move. It's a decent move from Newcastle. With Newcastle, so what I've always worried about, with any club that's newly rich, if you want to call them that, you get concerned about the calibre of player that they're going to bring in. So are they going to bring in mercenaries who are only there for a pound? No. But Kieran Trippier, I genuinely think will help them out. Good, steady pro, has experience over in Spain, obviously has experience in the Premier League, England international. And yeah, I think it's a good piece of business. I think, is it 12 million, if my memory's right, for Kieran Trippier? I think that's steady business by Newcastle. And they need a bit more to stay up, to be honest, because, you know, Eddie Howe will no doubt be pleased at the response that he's got from his players, because they do look like they're putting up a fight for him. And they've a little sprinkling of talent in there with some Maximan, Callum Wilson. So yeah, if they can get a little bit steadier in defence and maybe get scoring a couple, he might have a fighting chance for Newcastle staying up. Reed said, I'm happy the game's postponed. I want to see us play against a team as good as Liverpool to see what we can do, even if we're expected to lose. See, Reece, that's the thing, mate. You guys have been massively improved under Mikel Arteta. No doubt about it. And we've said it on the channel here. I've looked at the big decisions that Mikel Arteta has made. I've commended him on them because I think he's doing a fine job there at Arsenal. Bringing through Smith Rowe and Saka, Martinelli, the big call bringing Aaron Ramsdale. I think he's doing a good thing. And look, if we had been in the same situation, it'd be the same lads out that we did against Chelsea, I'm sure the game would have gone ahead. And I'm sure we would have played Queeveen in goal, and I'm sure we would have had a few changes and a bit of a mixed team. And maybe look to turn it around in the second leg if we had a goal or two deficit. That's what most of us were expecting. But just to see the reaction from the usual loudmouths, it's just been disappointing. It's all about I'm all right, Jack, sod the rest, you know, that kind of way. Just no compassion there at all. Craig, Arsenal won the free pass to the final. Pathetic fans. It's like how they celebrated when they'd won the World Cup after winning the FA. Well, look, everybody's entitled to celebrate when you win a trophy. I'm not going to slack off any fan base for celebrating winning a trophy, but I mean, it is what, like, people are talking about. Was it one of the early rounds of the competition before where somebody had to be awarded a buy through? Well, that's because the rules were a little bit different then. We hadn't got Omicron in then, and they only brought out this 14-player rule. 14 players and a keeper, I think it was. So I don't get it. I don't get the fume about it, and I don't get how they haven't got a rational thought process to just go, okay, well, they can't put out a team. Bit more time for us to get our manager back, by the way, as well. Make sure our head is back on the sideline. And look, I sincerely hope there's no outbreak at Arsenal. And if Arsenal needed to have one of the legs postponed because of an outbreak, sound. Wish them all the best. Wish them health and happiness and hope that they get their players back soon. I just don't get it. It's pathetic. And just admit that it's because they're scared. That's it. If you just come out and say it, just be honest and go, that was a bit of a chance there for us. You know what I mean? If they have to put out a weak inside, maybe we get a few goals up in the first leg and have a chance. Then we'd all go, yeah, get it. Still not going to change on though. What have we got? Akash said lots of crap came from Chelsea fans as well. All summer yapping about squad depth, and then when some of their first 11 were injured and their depth got exposed, they wanted to cancel and got rejected. I didn't see as much from Chelsea fans. Probably just didn't see it genuinely, but you know, they had Lukaku out as well because of a brave decision by their manager. And again, I commend Hugo for that decision. I think it was the right one. But yeah, like Chelsea have great squad depth, but it'll test anybody because what we're thinking about here is the players that we know. So let's say for Liverpool, for instance, we knew that it was Firmino, we knew it was Alisson, we knew that it was Matip. But these players have to go in then every morning and do more antigen tests before they go in. And as people have pointed out, and rightly so, it's one thing having all these rules in place for players that they have to have masks, they have to be tested. But then at the end of every game, as people have pointed out, they're all hugging each other and shaking hands and talking. So, look, all I ever wish for with this whole COVID situation is that anybody who is lucky enough to, or excuse me, who is unlucky enough to pick it up, that they have minimal symptoms and that they're back healthy as soon as possible. That is my priority for this, and it should be everybody's priority, because football, we want it. We want football, we enjoy it, but we want people to be safe, and we understand that these men have families and these women have families. Yeah, it's mad. Am I going to watch the AFCON? Yeah, probably, Jen. Probably will. I mean, from a selfish perspective, and this is completely selfish, I'm a little bit happy that the game was postponed, because